Mm. Mm. Match found. Deathmatch. Warm up.
Your mind is just as dangerous as your weapon. Use it.
Fight!
Show them how we fight. Slow. Fly, my friend. Stay down. चल हट. अलविदा. Kill confirmed. Got ya.
remaining. Dominating.
Alvida.
Remaining. One kill remaining.
Ooh.
Kill confirmed. All the more reason to go again.
This.
Match found.
You have good taste, my friend.
always decompose after 12 hours of acid. There's no reason I know that.
Gone here. Gun here.
That works.
Target A.
Enemy spotted A. Enemy spotted A.
Reloading.
That one's dead.
Trap destroyed.
Last player standing.
Stay sharp. You don't get a second chance in combat. Unless Sage is involved. That's a good spot.
Spike planted. Enemy down. Someone's in defender spawn.
Out of charges. Out of charges.
Get out of my way. One enemy remaining.
I am sorry, we could not work out our differences. Teleport's ready.
Now let's turn this around. Spike there.
Keep your eye on target. I don't think so.
I have a spike.
Spike.
Enemy spotted A.
Blocking fire.
Spike planted.
Reloading. A gift.
Enemy spotted.
Behind. Back.
Many enemies A. Last player standing. One enemy remaining. Here comes the party. My ult's ready. Clutch. Satchel up. I couldn't be the twice the number. Last round in the half.
It's our last chance to attack. Buy out the shop.
Gone here.
Next. They are so dead. My ult is ready.
Spike planted. Let's turn the tide.
Here.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Teleport's ready.
One enemy remaining. Team Ace. Switching sides.
I do like winning.
Caution here.
Enemy spotted A. Caution here.
Teleport's
Enemy
ready.
spotted A.
Spike planted.
Reloading. Grenade!
Enemy spotted.
Flooding them.
Enemy spotted A.
Terminus.
One enemy remaining.
Reloading. Reloading. I did these things in my sleep. Shame. I love explosions.
Match point.
Surely they can do better.
Are they still trying?
That works.
Grenade!
Walls up. Teleport's ready.
Spike planted. standing.
Remember, nobody's a hero when they're crying for air.
That's a good spot. In we go.
Mid two, mid two.
One down. Target A. Spike spotted A.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Jet's grounded. My ult's ready. Reloading.
You lose. Teleport's ready.
For you. Reloading. Enemy spotted. Here comes the party.
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining. Last player standing. 10 seconds left. Clutch.
If you are not doing well, keep trying. We must keep up appearances.
Try not to get shot, okay? Target A. Killed.
A gift.
Enemy spotted. Mid.
Here.
The hunt begins!
Spike planted.
Target dead. Stay down.
My turn.
Last player standing.
Target down.
Sudden death.
Time to stock back up.
Bonne chance, mes amis.
Oh no. Oh no.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
Walls up.
Reloading.
Bomb buddy out.
Poison's off.
Thirty seconds left.
As far as duels go,
Defenders win.
bad. What can I say? We're better.
GG. GG.
Lagi-lagi mereka PR-nya selalu satu. Mereka pakai wingman-nya itu untuk ngancurin utility yang ada di area side sebenarnya. Maksa biar utility dibuka dulu, baru di-replan lagi sama pemain-pemain RRQ. Dan sempat dicoba berkali-kali ke side A, tapi lagi nih. Kalau kalian ngeliat ya, map control itu cuma sampai situ aja.
Iya.
Gak sampai ke arah defender.
Tapi sebenarnya kalau yang di arah sana menurut gue itu heat map yang terjadinya baku hantam pas di defend.
Defender, iya.
Karena Secret kan hobi banget tuh kayaknya panis
Main
A
di
lagi,
side.
panis A lagi. Bahkan itu sisi sebelah kanannya second level tuh udah jadi merah banget tuh warnanya tuh.
Ya udah main
Karena
di
di
situ.
situ udah pasti selalu banyak pertumpahan darah.
Iya. Dan Jemkin,
Mas
thanks to Jemkin sih, kita harus akui thanks to Jemkin, ace dia ngebawa kita ke match point. Kalau nggak ada dia udah pasti itu Secret mungkin masih bisa memberikan perlawanan. Dan 169,5 damage per round, 45% headshot percentage.
Gokil.
Wow.
Padahal dia pakai OP.
Iya.
Iya.
Wah itu dia.
Pas defender dia ya emang OP-nya mid. Masih dihancurin cokdat tuh. Jadi kan biasanya
18-20% lah ya.
cuman ini
Tapi
untuk player yang main OP juga 45 tuh artinya setiap dia megang rifle ya pala.
iya, rifle-nya dia vandalnya bener-bener tajam banget sih. Dan dengan 26 kill cukup untuk Jemkin menutup map ketiga kita dan RRQ. Meskipun harus berbagi poin map ya, tapi at least mereka berhasil untuk mengamankan satu poin yang cukup aman lah setidaknya sekarang di top 3 dulu terlebih dahulu. Karena kita masih punya 3 minggu yang akan kita saksikan perjalanan dari semua tim yang bertanding di VCT Pacific. Wah, tapi deg-degan banget. Kenapa lo nonton RQ gitu ya?
Sereknya tuh kerasa. Sampai gua
Iya.
Jamal apalagi nih?
Iya, serak banget sih.
Tapi ya pasti ya nggak cuma RQ doang yang akan kita saksikan hari ini, karena kita
Ya.
masih ada match yang kedua teman-teman, yang tentunya ini bakalan lebih seru banget. Tapi ya sebenarnya kalau ngomongin RRQ, gue lebih suka performa mereka
Couple words from him together with their interviewer, Jen.
It feels really good because in kickoff we had like 2 really close games, so we finally win. Even it was close, but still we're happy. It's our first win as a disaster, so yeah.
I want to talk about that ace on the OT because you know you're usually very stoic, but even you got excited.
Both of them are really important.
know what happened. I think I killed 2 or 3, and I popped knives and I just killed to the smoke. 2 more, and I don't know, and it just happened.
Right, you just shoot what you see, and that's ace. Okay. Now, Ewok actually earlier today said, I'm tired of saying that we've been unlucky, and it's time for us to pick up the consistency when it comes to communication, and, you know, we need to win. And I guess that you guys put in great effort into grabbing and maintaining that consistency. So what have the players specifically worked on to make sure that that consistency is there and you guys are communicating through thick and thin?
I think it just in scrims you're trying to focus on it specifically. So if you're gonna practice it, it's gonna pay off. Of course, in the futures, and in the futures, they always try to remind each other that we need to communicate. And yeah.
So practice makes it perfect when it comes to communication as well. Now, Xfero and Elmimore, they had a role swap, but they were on the opposite side of the spectrum when it comes to the changes that they made. So whose idea was it initially to have that role swap, and what were you guys expecting from implementing this change?
It was player idea because I think they're gonna be more comfortable on this. So, of course, we tried it first, and yeah, I think we're gonna be even better with this.
All right, and you guys also have that match coming up with Bleed on Sunday. What's your mindset heading into that matchup?
Just perfect, any normal match.
Okay. All right, I love the confidence. Congratulations once again, Jemkin, and thank you for the interview. And that was Jemkin with the post-match interview. I'm going to toss it off to a quick break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, we have Global Esports taking on DRX.
Okay, Team Supreme, we need you guys on the stage now. Come on, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Red Bull gives you wings.
立ちグループ100周年
私たちは愛する立川にかつてないワクワクや感動に出会う場所を作ってきました。そして今大きな夢の実現に挑戦しています。立川と世界を文化、芸術、スポーツでつなぐ。私たちが愛する立川を世界に愛される都市に。立川と世界をつなぐ立飛グループ。
Red Bull gives you wings.
Welcome back to VCT Pacific 2024. It was a really close series between RRQ and Team Secret going into overtime on map 3 Icebox, but RRQ closes it out for their very first victory in over 260 days. And you know, honestly, that might have been just like bad luck with the draw. But let's talk about this next matchup. It's going to be super exciting. We got Global Esports here, and I think they're getting ready for an interview with Jen.
Lightning Fast, I'm going to talk to you for a second. Hello. Tough loss against Zeta, but no time to be sad. You guys are going up against DRX today. What's the game plan?
Oh, can't reveal the game plan now, right? I mean, it's just stay confident in ourselves and also just follow the game plan.
Alright,
Yeah.
GE fighting.
Yeah, always fighting.
Alright. Winning. Okay.
All right, first of all, I like their jerseys more this year, and Lightning Fast will not reveal the strategy just yet. But
How could he?
Yeah, I know. Why wouldn't he
Unbelievable.
share them? But he was fantastic as a Sage the other day when they were playing against Zeta Division. We saw a promising Global Esports.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we saw good moments from just about everybody on the team at some point. I mean, I know Blaze King tweeted afterwards that he was disappointed, but I thought he had some pretty strong showings. Lightning Fast, probably the best we've seen him in VCT Pacific so far. So a lot to be hopeful for. If you're a GE fan, we may actually see them challenge DRX today. I know you talked about it earlier that DRX is in fact, taking them like very seriously. They're very worried about their opponent today. That's how highly they rate them.
Yeah, Lightning Fast was great. Russ was also fantastic. I think that might need a little bit more of a well-rounded kind of performance from everybody in that fact. I think that those two were kind of the standouts, but definitely I think they have more in store than they have shown so far.
Oh, absolutely. I think this is a good first showing. There's a lot more to work on, but let's hear a few words from DRX.
Hello, Buzz. Just a quick question. Great game against Team Secret. Would you say percentage-wise, that's DRX at its 100%?
On the Secret, maybe 50%.
50%, okay. What about today?
And today, probably 49%.
Well, you only need 49 to beat GE. All right.
Maybe for GE, 50% is too much.
Okay. All right. Spicy. Well, good luck and thank you.
Oh, Buzz does not mince his words. But here is DRX's roster. Now, this was a bit of a surprise showing for us. Bane joined the roster and did quite well on the Omen.
I was very impressed. I mean, the game plan, especially on Sunset, was not super aggressive with him or anything. It was very conservative, where they were just saying, stick in the back, make sure your util's good, back us up, play for trades, and he was perfect with all of that. But then on Lotus, he started to get aggressive with Buzz, trying to take space on A Rubble. So really, that's about all you can ask for in a debut from a player like this. You know, he's played in other regions and stuff, of course, as well, but he really stepped up.
Yeah, also I think in terms of debuts, it's really nice to get a performance like that under your belt where you're like, hey, I can play on a big stage in front of a lot of fans, and I did my job well. I wasn't, amazing. He was great, but he was, just kind of doing his job, and everybody else also having a great performance here on the side of DRX. Maybe we didn't give them enough credit, but definitely look like a very strong team right now.
And we do have to mention Foxy9. He played the Sentinel role the other day, and that was a bit of a surprise, also how well he did as a Sentinel.
Yeah, I mean, I think this seems to be a little bit more comfortable for him overall. You've seen him bounce around a couple different roles, of course, playing some KO in kickoff as well. So I liked it. It felt like he was able to kind of play for himself. He's able to make his own decisions a little bit more, kind of trust his natural instinct, something that, led him to some level of success as a duelist. Eventually that started to kind of fall apart as DRX tried to integrate more and more with him. But as a Sentinel, you're a little more free to kind of do what you want, to control the map, to take the space as you please for the most part, and that seemed to suit him nicely.
Yeah, he had a lot of really lovely multi-Ks, to be quite frank. Together with Bane, a lot of us were not sure how DRX was going to perform. You could see it in our own talent predictions. A lot of us had question marks, and it's not because we think DRX has, fallen from the graces of one of the best performing teams here in Pacific, but rather there were just so many changes happening. We weren't sure if they were going to adjust in time, but they completely proved us wrong in a 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you keep the core together, and the guys that are being called up, they played well, so it's kind of like a win-win situation, right? The guys you expect to play well are playing well, and then you have the other guys to back them up and do just that, as we're seeing some of the highlights over the course of their last matchups. DRX getting the better of them back then. We can take a look here at the stats between Lightning Fast and Bane as well. You can see Bane, in a couple of map wins. Of course, he's going to have pretty high KD, but overall, I'd say a good start for him.
Yeah, and you can see that, Lightning Fast is really putting up some good numbers as well. That average damage per round is pretty solid. So both players kind of stepping up into their roles, having solid starts to the year. Yeah, it didn't go GE's way compared to DRX, but I don't think anyone should be super, concerned about GE after seeing that first match against Zeta. Zeta's still a really good team, even with 2 rookies on that squad. We know what they're capable of. They won LCQ in Pacific last year. Certainly with GE kind of completely changing most of their roster and everything, yeah, it's going to take a little bit more time, but definitely progression, and that's what you need to see after kickoff.
Absolutely. Both of these teams have progressed, and yes, is this so different than last year when we saw Global Esports facing against DRX? We still have question marks about this. It's not a sure win for DRX, who was nearly undefeatable early on in Pacific last year. And now we're looking at the data only from kickoff between these two teams.
Well, I think, it should be really interesting. It's, I think, a decently favorable map pool here for DRX. They've been perma-banning Icebox so far. Well, the one time, I guess perma-ban is over. That's it's a bit early to be saying that, but they banned Icebox, so that seems to be if they're the DRX that we know and love, they're just going to keep banning the same map the whole split anyway. So probably going to ban Icebox, which is GE's map that they won over Zeta.
Yeah, and I guess the other question is, do we see the Lotus coming out again? Do Global Esports, give them the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, well, they're pretty good on this map now, and try to take it away? It's going to be another one of those maps that we will have to see, especially as one of the maps that Global Esports has banned out a lot so far.
I mean, Paper Thin, you also bring up a good point that maybe DRX just follows DRX things and continues to pick and ban the same maps, use similar comps. Maybe this is what they need to change up. And now we're going to go into our map ban picks here. We got Coach Termy and Coach Spin.
Kind of curious if Sunset's going to come through again. Looked pretty solid overall for DRX. So look at this. Termy is not wearing a suit jacket. Mark this day on your calendars.
Yeah.
He's here to
It's
play.
happening. Yeah.
Just looks.
I never thought I'd see the day.
It just looks, you know, I don't know. It's not what you would expect.
This is awkward now. I don't know how to feel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a glitch in the Matrix.
I can see his elbows now. What?
Oh, there's that icebox fan.
Yep. Okay, so Ascent. Okay, so GE, you know, kept it close with Zeta on this map, but that's pretty interesting that they're going to want to lean into this again to try to go up against DRX. Look, nobody's like blowing everybody away on Ascent in Pacific, but I'm curious.
Yeah, they choose the attacker side, and then DRX are going to go back to Lotus as the ban was bind from Global Esports. We saw they were pretty strong on this map against Team Secret, and they're going to give it another go on this one. So not too surprising there either.
Yeah, and I'm not shocked that you get rid of Sunset here. You saw what DRX is capable of on it. You don't really want to mess around with it. DRX doesn't want to deal with Split either, and it's going to be Breeze. It's that last map, really interesting one. You don't get to see it all the time with these two teams, so pretty curious if we can get there.
Ascent is an interesting pick for this first map, and it's by Global Esports. This was map 3 that they played against Zeta the other day, and they lost, but it was close until something went wrong with Global Esports, and it's almost like they're kicking themselves and they just want to redo, because they had that potential. They had that potential to win that match against Zeta, so maybe they're thinking, you know, look, we need to fix that mistake last time on Ascent. And the last time DRX played, it was in kickoff against Talon, and that was a classic comp, and they did end up winning. So
yeah, like they're good at the map. Like it's a map that we've seen them so many times throughout the years play. It's just the real question to me is it just going to be the standard comp that we always see with DRX on that map? Are they going to try something a little crazy again? You know, in the past, of course, you know, triple initiator and things like that. But that's a long time ago. Doesn't seem to be the DRX. The modern DRX doesn't really do that kind of stuff.
yeah, so as you can see here,
You're
it's a
excited
very
for your matchup, right? Like
mirror matchup with the comp that we all know, the Ascent comp.
It's the Ascent comp, right? I mean, it's an old map. The teams have kind of figured it out. Unless they really want to do something crazy, as Paper Them was talking about, you're not pressured into really doing anything crazy. But I do want to say that for Global Esports, this is going to be incredibly important because, you know, you got to get it started off strong on your map pick. You leave the Ascent, you go for it here as the first map, and maybe they're the ones to kind of mix it up. Or maybe, you know, as you mentioned before, Victoria, maybe they just want to go back and kind of get revenge for losing on this one, where they felt like they were in a good spot. And, I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see how they do look on this one against DRX, who are coming off a hot win up against Team Secret.
Yeah, that's right. And in fact, it's so interesting now because during that DRX Team Secret match, a few of us actually had predicted Team
most
Secret.
of us. Yeah.
And we saw their performance today. We saw their performance 2 days ago. I think I don't know if it's just Team Secret or if it's DRX stepping up, some combination of both.
Yeah, it has to be a little bit of both. I mean, I think all of us were more of the what Team Secret showed us at the end of kickoff looked really damn good. So we were banking on them to improve on that during their time off. Not necessarily that DRX had slid. It didn't help DRX that, you know, Flashback had an issue and had to leave the team for a brief period of time. And you have to bring in Bane with literally just a couple days of practice. That plays a part in it, of course, as well. But you got to credit the DRX coaching staff. I mean, I think they get a lot of flack online that, frankly, I don't think they deserve. I think they're pretty darn good. They do a good job, especially with new players, getting them integrated into rosters. Yeah, sometimes it's up and down, and yeah, you want to see them do better at international events. I get it, I do too. But you know, they're still a really good team, and they still have really good fundamentals.
They do need some time to rebuild, and like you mentioned with Bane, only a couple days ago, he was just, or maybe a week, 2 max, that he was inserted into this team, and that could come into play. Even though they did well the other day, this could come well into play here against Global Esports. With that, we are going to go into our second series of today, DRX and Global Esports. Let's go over to our casters, Achilleos and William.
All right, thank you guys very much for setting the stage for us here going into the second series of the day already. kicking things off, a 3-mapper. Will we get that one in this series? I do not know, but I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, because obviously DRX, a great showing as Des talked about coming out, but the question marks are still there, right? Obviously, you know, Bane having to come in last minute, it could work both ways, but it definitely can be a double-edged sword, especially when you go to maps like Ascent, right, that are just age-old, and you really have to have everything drilled in. Whereas GE, I mean, if you're picking Ascent voluntarily against DRX, surely you feel like you've actually had a lot to learn from that match against Zeta Division. You want to clean that up a little bit more and see how much you can prove.
Yeah, I think one of the big things that I want to see from GE coming into this is a bit more assistance alongside Polvi, because we know that this guy has the firepower. He has the ability to go in and just shake things up. But what we were seeing a lot from them versus Zeta was him just kind of going in by himself, unassisted, no flashes, no nothing really to try to back him up. I think that if you just simply start giving him some more tools to work around with, to really empower him, that is where you can see Polvi start to take over. But obviously for Global, the odds are stacked against them. The desk talking about it. DRX, with the iterations that we've seen here, the changes in the team, they have always remained a constant near the top. This was the first time that we get to see them, you know, basically excluded from an international event. And, you know, having spoken to the team, that they took personally.
I mean, I'm sure, right? Obviously, when we had kickoff, Stax was in that interview saying, you know, for all the Korean teams, don't even think about doing anything as long as DRX is in Valorant. And then Genji thought about doing something, and they went in and did it.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's not a great feeling for a squad that was so storied in Korea and pretty much untouchable since the very first Masters Reykjavik. So GE, again, they're going to have to battle against Titans, but of course, GE, squad full of a lot of veterans, so they've met each other before in various capacities. We'll have to see what they've gathered, because here was what I took away from their opening match against Zeta Division. While sure, Zeta came out even stronger, GE, first of all, looked a lot more organized than they did at kickoff. They were at least able to prove to us what they wanted to do, what the ideas were. Again, maybe a little bit of that execution, like you mentioned, especially in terms of setting up their star duelist, Polvi. Let's see if that comes into play.
And I was talking, of course, I always run into Ken Yang. He seems to seek me out, but just saying, you know, last year, one of the toughest matches that we had was against Global. And we're not taking any chances coming into this. I was like, well, it is a very different looking team, but it's good to have that approach, to have that mindset. So they'll be taking a couple extra moments here on stage in the huddle. Make sure that everybody is prepped up, vibed up, and ready to go.
Yeah, and you mentioned the setup for Polvi, but I think it goes both ways. I think also important for Polvi to kind of recognize what the tempo for the rest of the team is, right?
Sure.
Even if you think it's the right call, if the comms aren't quite there, you can't just rush in and say, I'll create space, because sometimes, especially a squad like DRX, where they know exactly what angles to cover, things like that, going in alone isn't going to work. Even Paper Rex, they used to not be able to do that against DRX. It was only when they started working as a team that they took down the Giants of Korea.
Let's see how they do fare into this one. As I think what we can safely anticipate coming into our opening map, which is Ascent, is that Polvi's going to be back over onto that jet, going head-to-head alongside Buzz. Could very well be an explosive matchup to keep our eyes on as we go into this, but I'm curious to see if there's going to be any kind of differentiation.
You know, I do hope one of these days that Stax will bring back the Phoenix, now that Phoenix is starting to show up here and there, but
it's been like twice.
I know, but for the time being, it's going to be the age-old compositions. Obviously, a lot of kind of new highlights just because of the roster and the role swaps here for DRX, and Bane will be picking up that Sova, so that was a big question as well. He picked up the Omen because he wanted to play double controller on both of the maps that they played in their first match against Secret, but now that it's just going to be the one Omen, Mako will stick to that. And Bane, I mean, Sova's the next role that he's played a lot of, so it's definitely not a completely foreign concept. We'll see how well he's tuned in terms of timings, though.
I'm sure that Stax is more than happy to not have to go for the Sova. Was looking all right at the back end of kickoff, but everything before that was definitely rough around the edges. But here we go. We are ready to jump into the action for map number 1 in our second series of the evening. Global Esports versus DRX. DRX going to be first here on the attack.
Wow, yeah.
As the fans are here in the audience.
They've definitely filled up. We saw a lot of people filing in during that break. Now, one thing I also want to mention is Bane was playing quite actively, quite aggressively on that Omen. And sure, you know, while it wasn't all 100% clean, it helped create a lot of space. It helped create a lot of curveballs, draw a lot of aggro for DRX when they were playing the double controller. And when you're playing that Sova, you can't do that. It's not going to be as beneficial, especially on a map like Ascent. So curious to see if just the extra couple days was enough to get their comms in order.
Now, just flying down, looking to try to clear out any kind of KJ util that would be here in mid. Polvi, Owen popped, wants to go on a bit of an exploration mission here as smoke dissipating back over here on Cat. That's going to be Buzz taking down a Russ. Russ finds that opening kill, gets himself a second. Polvi now striking, also finds Stacks. Going to be taken down suddenly. It is just Mako. Does manage to find one. Ghost, very long range. Spike now stranded. See if Mako got a magic he can potentially work here. As does just only have that one paranoia right now as far as util is concerned.
Yeah, and the positioning's pretty good for Global Esports. They've got, a double stack. They've got the cross right now. Lightning Fast is very low, so if he gets taken out instantly.
Yeah, stiff breeze.
Yeah.
All that it would take, but yep, just giving information to his squad. Mako now, I'm not sure if he saw both, but also they're right here around the corner. There's the paranoia. Tries to bait him out, gets the headshot. It's Lightning Fast gone, but now this is where things become a little bit more complex. Smoke down. Reload, push out, there it is. Noted and taken down. Global will find themselves a pistol round win, starting off Ascent with a nice little victory.
So DRX, I mean, they try to pressure mid, try to make sure that they're clearing any potential killjoy util. They pressure it to make it look like they're going mid. That means that defenders have to back out of market, and that gives them time to push up all the way up through Cat, near to tree. They even had the Sova on the lurk, ready to send an arrow in, a dart in as well. But the call is just too fast, right? You hear a little bit of that utility, the paranoia is huge. The energy's there for Global Esports. And Polvi, he was calm this time. Didn't overheat, waited until Bane showed himself, provided a little bit of extra damage. Very good pistol.
All right, well, I mean, 0 point out. Buzz able to find one with Lightning Fast, claiming 3 for himself. Will end up falling, and Stack's just going to be scooping up that spike, but weapons, getting that proved to be a little bit difficult, but we'll just taking an inch off of him there. Shots just moments behind Stacks. Lucky to still be alive here as Polvi goes for the reload. Jump shotting. Scoops back in. Does eat a little bit of damage there from the recovered Bulldog. Stacks is just going to be looking to make the most out of this opportunity. Grabs that orb. What they do from here, that is the question. It's still a bit of a rough position to be in. Surprisingly passes the weapon over to Foxy despite the fact that he is lower in HP. Granted, I guess going into the Outlaw. Yeah, wants him to be able to swing off the flash. 0 point won't get the catch. Scope in, kill, there's the second.
And that's what the Outlaw is built for. All in all, I mean, DRX, on their end, not necessarily doing a lot of damage to Global Esports, but they were able to take away a couple things, right? A couple kills. You get the ult point as well for Stacks, trying to get close halfway there for the null command. So considering the round, not the end of the world, but Global Esports, the aggression that they have in mind, going for these hard reads off the bat, the round start, it's good for now. But again, you cannot go through a full map of Ascent with just plays like that. You have to start getting ready for those mid-round calls.
When we go to the bonus, let's see what Global can get done for themselves as Lightning Fast. Stinger in hand on a very far forward push. Russ there to try to back him up and spray across. That's 2 kills found. Buzz and Mako both taken down. Looking for a little bit more. Stack's going to eat some damage there and doesn't offer that much else up in reply. Lightning Fast going to be there at 85.
I mean, this is kind of disastrous already for DRX, to be quite frank.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you don't really have any control of the map. Of course, you've given up mid entirely. There's the Outlaw. Now, Foxy9 does have full armor, so he won't get taken down in a single shot, but he will be at risk as he can't trust that turret just yet.
0 point out, landing, checking over towards market, nothing spotted. Polvi. Not able to scope it fast enough. Great swing from Bane, gets the headshot, does take him down, and that brings it now an equal count, 3v3, and now the advantage there for DRX as Foxy gets a very clean headshot. Lightning Fast having built up the ult, get himself situated over here on the B site. Now Swarm still in play.
Paranoia as well.
Benkai grabs that Outlaw. Still wary about somebody pushing up into mid. In the meantime, everybody's just working their way past that Nano Swarm, and Lightning Fast, they've kind of slipped the net here. He's going to find out very soon And Spike does get planted. Swing in, Foxy. Doesn't find that kill, but Spike needs to be planted now. Just a second to spare as it does go down. Force him off the corner, Foxy eating a bit of damage. Down to 62, but Benkai not reading the timing. Solid round from Foxy 9, but still an even more solid one from Global Esports. Yes, they cannot convert that bonus, but they still do a decent amount of damage.
Yeah, 3 guns down, armor off of 1 extra member as well. Sure, you give up the plant, so the creds flow in for DRX just enough to try to have another shot at stabilizing. But overall, Global Esports, they should feel good about the default that they had, the ideas that they had. Lightning Fast going right up close against that one-way. It's just these kind of mini trap plays that they have prepared, and now they'll finally start to back off. You've got that alarm bot in market. You've got Polvi just peeking out in mid. Still sticking with the Outlaw. Be a bit of a mystery there, though. DRX going to be wary of that. 4 members with full armor.
Weaponry-wise, though, or it's just, kit-wise, DRX still with a decent advantage here. I mean, half armor on everybody aside from Polvi. See if that comes back to bite them as Stacks will command online. Everybody from Global shifting over towards Cat. See warning pings coming down. Aware that there could be some kind of deep lurk getting set up here from Global Esports. Smoke will come in. That'll be no command buzz. If you can get that tailwind off just in time. Checks the rest of the site. Nothing going to be spotted. Door now shut. As Fragment denies any potential peeks, and Stacks is just going to be planting right here outside of Hell. Double pump. Oh, the jump. Polvi. Lucky to be alive. Void's getting taken down there. They very much have Buzz noted. And yep, spray through on the Odin. Bane in the meantime also down to 10 HP.
The lurk from Foxy 9 is going to be a crucial one as soon as that door gets broken.
Flash is sent up over the top. Polvi does mention entry for 1. Takes out Stacks. Benkai now finding Bane as well, just spraying into the smoke. He himself low on health. Buzz finding 1. Gets that kill. Swings back out. Is able to stabilize the spray. To find Benkai and tie things up at 2-2.
Polvi, a heroic attempt and a good setup here for the retake. They break the door, send the utility, and Polvi flies high. He's able to land on Jen and pick up 1 kill, but after that, of course, right by the door, it's still enough members of DRX to stabilize, and Foxy 9, he starts swinging as soon as that door gets broken, and that means that Lightning Fast can't come in for the extra support.
See, though, it's, a scrappier buy into yet another one. Marshall picked up here by Polvi. The call is Wiley. Just try not to buy down too low. Russ will invest in himself with about 1,000.
Lightning Fast getting pinged far back means that they should feel a little bit safer close, but they know that he could have crept up. And that's one of the things, while they don't have to use that play every time, it's done enough to force DRX to respect this one-way a lot. Buying them quite a bit of time at the early part of the round.
Flash in, nothing spotted there on the peak. Widely. DRX just looking to pull away and maybe just see if they can set up a trap. It looks like they really just want to continue to play this ambiguously and allow for Lightning Fast to try to scale up and gain some space here, but it's not biting on it. It's playing back here within the site. Yeah, I mean, patiently and allowing for DRX to come to them.
Creeping out now just to try to gain space on a on a broken round like this would kind of be the death sentence for you. So I love the patience from Global Esports. They do have the stack going on A.
Oh, what a shot! Russ, that investment so far paying off. Does find that instant dump onto Buzz, taking him down. Jet out. Sand does need a bit of damage from the fragment though. Yeah, softened himself up a bit, but now TP across the map. Polvi trying to get there in time to be able to intercept this one, but looks like he's just gonna miss the angle. Could have put that spike down on the floor, but the rest of the team very disconnected. Plant now coming through. Bane in the meantime. Very big lurk. Back over on that A site, hearing these rotations coming through is Foxy 9. Tag, taken out. Polvi pumps there on that Marshall, able to find the kill, but now Bane looks to strike. Finds 1. Hunter's Fury coming through. Fishing, but I'm not sure if he's going to be rewarded for it. Will won't even try to go for that final shot. Will just go ahead, put the bow away. Stacks in the meantime. Going around in main, looking around the sides of that smoke. Paranoia flying Mako's way, manages to dodge on that one. Lightning pass with a quick 180, turns back, gets a headshot there to take down Stacks. Mako now finds 1, finds the other. A 3K for him in the round for DRX to move up.
Ooh, DRX, They're able to stabilize. I mean, the multi-layered lurks there, they're able to use it from the shadows. And of course, Stacks still going the far way around the rotate. Bane still sticks around. And while it can feel like it's a little bit haphazard at times, they even had things like the Hunter's Fury coming online with the kill. So all things part of the plan at the end of the day. Even if Mako had been taken out, Bane, of course, arrives in time on stairs. So each of them understanding the win condition. But overall, I mean, GE, the reads they're having are correct. That should be the scary part for DRX. A couple more of these, and this could be, again, similar to that split that these teams faced off on last year, where it went to just so many overtimes.
Flash in. Russ doing all of that, has to back away. And you can see, DRX very much just fighting to stop these peaks from coming out of main now. Since those first 2 rounds. Lockdown at the ready.
Yeah, B's been cleared out with the drone, so they know that the ult orb was taken. Should be wary of the lockdown, so starting to empty the site. I like that they're trying to pinch onto mid.
Polvy dead. Buzz. Strike a little bit faster. Oh, onto the corner. Finds Russ as well. Lightning fast on trying to hold his ground. Does manage to get Buzz there on the tail, went forward. And Stacks will get picked off. Benkai rushing out. Does manage to find him. It's going to be a 2v2. Spray across, spike in the hands here of Foxy. Will be able to get that planted just behind the gen. Benkai looking forward, but Mako privy to this, expecting it, now having it confirmed. Blaze King, what can he get done?
Trying to wait for Mako to refill the site. That's how
but has been spotted.
Oh!
The spray down comes through. Blaze King, keep them in with an advantage. Mako now, see if he can try to clutch this one out. Blaze King at 34, Benkai full HP. There's a push forward though, the headshot comes through. Mako just standing tall. Oh! Snappy with the follow-up. A clutch here again from Mako. 4-2 now as DRX starts stretching a lead.
You know what you see though at the end of that round is this is the power that players like Mako have, is the opponents start to play scared. They know the clutch is such a real possibility. It's a 2v1, and sure, one of you is low health, but you just send the full health guy to try to clear everything first. I mean, I get it. I get exactly what's going through their head, but that's just what happens when you've got a player like Mako who's able to clutch up any situation. They start to play into his hands just a little bit.
Feels like it's been a while since we've had this.
Yes.
Mako. We got some glimpses of it at kickoff, but widely I'd say last year we didn't have that same clutch prowess that we had come to anticipate from him in the past. This is a very hot start for the gentle giant of DRX.
To be fair, also Ascent, no comp changes, right? The map hasn't changed. It's the same style through and through, so it could just be that regardless of which players are on the stage, Mako knows exactly what his job is. It's a comfort zone for him at this point. As the Des talked about, very still awkward to see Termi in a jersey.
Yeah, I can only assume that he spilled coffee or something on his clothes.
Oh,
or the dry cleaning wasn't ready, something like that.
Could be, could be.
Either way.
Although Termi feels like the guy who would have like 10 of the same suit jackets and shirts lined up.
Yeah. Oh, which one do I go today? Beige or cream?
Well, GE, again, the round-around reads have been fairly good. Just, here. The last 2%, 5% on the execution, making the difference here. Once again, early mid control. Now a little bit greedy on this one, but they've already taken their positions. That's the good news.
Russ sat ready, play anti-flash. Now turns his sights back over here towards tiles. Does he decide to strike?
Oh,
Shots
Polvy's the bait.
Drawing
Polvy's
the
the bait.
attention. Does he get the transfer? Yes, he does. Russ able to find 2, but on Foxy 9 finding one apiece as well. Now Stacks wins out the fight versus Benkai. Like you said, the reads looking good overall here for the side of Global. There was a solid game plan here, but as the counter swings in from the Omen and the Killjoy here from DRX, it's a bit too good. Blaze King now, 200 credits. The noted in hand. He's just going to be keeping it that way. Sat back now on the B site. We'll wait for that spike to go off.
The other thing to consider here is the fact that all of the good reads that they've had, the solution has been kind of these curveball plays, right? The bit of aggression, kind of these trap plays where as best as you can get them here on Ascent with the compositions that you have. And at this point, DRX, they're building a tolerance towards it. And of course, this is a team that is used to playing against things like that and knowing how to overcome it with basic fundamentals. We're starting to see the consistency come through for DRX. So I would love to see GE have a little bit more depth because, again, the reads are good. The game plan overall in the right direction, but maybe just a bit more variation. That's what could bring them home a couple more rounds here in the first half.
Now up by 3, DRX. Looking to start running away with this one. Global Esports, something else to try to slow this down. The attempts are good, the ideas are there. Execution just been slightly lacking, like you said. I think building up a tolerance is one of the best ways that you could describe it here for DRX. Step by step, getting an idea of what GE's priorities are round over round.
Now another null command in the pocket for Stacks. So this is a round where, again, they can play it slowly, check every corner, and then once they're ready to go, pop that KO ultimate.
Oh. A little whoopsie on the shock dart from Bane. This Blaze King, no ambiguity here.
Just trying to push him away from here.
Dash at the ready, got the reveal on the one, swings out. Some decent damage across it. Bane now down to 35. Oh, Russ nearly caught out in the open. That could have been catastrophic. Still has an immense amount of util to try to offer up, and even a null command, should they be able to find some kind of pick, get a recovered weapon, and think that they can win out the round from there. He does stay alive for the time being, wraps all the way back around and towards mid as Polvi. Just pivoting back and forth, watching main, walking towards tree, but
there's the pull. Pitch ready.
Mako, turn, finds one, for the other. Polvi with a nice headshot is going to be able to take him down, and he will recover that weapon. Blaze King sat here in the sight, does find one, gets the dink across, he's 3 HP remaining here on this Sova. Can they risk trying to get the res? Looks like they are going to do it. Bane picking him up. Buzz, knowing that Polvi was going to be grabbing that Vandal, just watches for it, takes him down. Benkai now last man standing versus 4 with a Stinger in hand to see if he can do any damage.
It's going to be a rough one, but if he can get the kill onto Bane or Foxy 9, get the rifle, that'd be the best start. It's Crossfire's there.
Yeah, Crossfire is set up, and Foxy will be able to hound him down. The 6-2. Global, couple decent picks, getting rid of Mako there. Putting Stacks down, but given the ult, just can't confirm that as a kill.
Okay, Operator online, which means, for the most part, the types of plays that G's been doing, not going to be part of the playbook anymore. This, by the way, great heads-up play from Bane.
Nice!
But we'll see. Do they set up for the op and then try to shift their weight to the other side, or is it much more going to be kind of the standard spread-out defaults with the op helping cover one portion of mid? For now, it looks like that's the answer. I mean, look at this though, right? DRX once again, they just want to make sure Lightning Fast never ever considers pushing up on A main. They want A main control every single remaining round of the first half.
Have they considered this? Tuck in, Buzz spotted him on the drop down. Polvi aware of it, does go ahead, dash away, keeps himself safe and elusive for the time being. But Foxy in the meantime, able to find Russ. Finish. Still just holding down, making sure that Benkai cannot try to push out of B main. The buy committed, but DRX in such an entrenched position. It's one of those tough moments where they may just have to make the call to go for the save early.
But look at this, Foxy says no saving for you. I mean, he's gone all the way through the B site. They're going to commit the lockdown to this, and they are going to have no idea that Foxy has made it all the way through their own spawn.
But DRX, they're not moving. Buzz is still sat here. He's waiting to see if he can take somebody down on the entry. He is going to be able to find one, but Blaze King will then clean him up. Mako in the meantime finds Lightning Fast. So everybody else tucks back away. Foxy 9 now getting ready to strike. The reveal out, swings down, finds him. Benkai already trying to hightail it out the safety. He will be able to do so. Foxy 9, I think, got to die. Yep, he gives his life to the cause there to pull up that flank.
I mean, you're so rich right now. DRX really just trying to ruin GE's first half for sure. I loved that call from Foxy because the thing is he got that kill early on against Russ, so you know they're well aware of your lurk. So rather than just playing for the chances, he wants to absolutely ruin any hopes that G will have of trying to climb back on the defense.
7-2.
7 rounds in a row.
Yeah, 7 rounds in a row, as you say. Ever since the bonus. The GE need to find something. Need to find some wins before we switch sides. I think about Pacific Ascent. I think about the defending side. I also, a lot of times, think about DRX, their flood retakes.
It's not going to be an easy one, even if, you know, they have to work with Bane getting used to the team right now on the Sova. Quite frankly, they probably have a pretty condensed version, a little Spark Notes version of their playbook at this point. Just follow the flow chart.
Calling down. Knife deployed.
0 points sent out. Check and see if there's going to be anybody lurking over by Wine. No, it's clear for now. Inching their way forward.
Nice and steady. Now, retakes very possible with the null command and the Untouched, even with the Waker weaponry here for GE.
Look at Foxy, though. Still sat here in B main, looking ready to try to intercept onto those two players. Here's them starting to rotate out, and there's the first one. Found off screen. Polvy dead. Clean time back here on the side. Russ trying to duke it out against Buzz. Just taking dangerously low. 13 HP remaining there on that Jet. As Foxy now just keeping Blaze King completely locked in this B-side prison.
I mean,
you want to help your friend? You want to go to the A site? I don't think so.
You gotta feel for Blaze King, man. That is, this is just the worst.
Okay, well, he will be able to scare Foxy off now.
I mean, sure,
but it's just, it's so much time bought, and Blaze King doesn't want to carry that Singer forward.
Exactly. Wow, I mean, I'm impressed by Foxy9. One of the things that I think everyone around the world agreed on was that he would overheat. He was that typical star potential rookie that used to play Duelist, was a solo queue demon, and then he would overheat. He would overheat again and again and again. Ever since he's become this kind of steady sentinel, not only does he not overheat, but he's gotten even craftier.
Yeah. Very nicely played there. As well, Blaze King, he's able to upgrade his weapon, but he's the only one carrying it forward. As Russ getting traded out at the very end. Able to maintain control of that weapon. Well, Global now calling their second timeout here in this first half.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely want more on your defending half. Sure, it's Ascent, but when you go to the attack, at least you have the initiative. You're going to be able to control the tempo a little bit, or at least that's, of course, a little bit more likely. So trying to right the ship before you get there, you'll have halftime to discuss the overarching plan for the second half. If you can get to 4-8, not all hope is lost, but anything less than that on Ascent starts to feel like absolute miracle territory.
Yeah, running it back from here. I mean, we need to see immediate change is the thing. This round, this timeout, it has to lead to something tangible. Because if it's okay, it's it's into the next one. That's where we get to see the fruits of the labor. Well, the DRX are now at 9.
Yeah, it's
so
already
to
a little
pivot here. So 8-4 already a position that you do not want to be in, but they do have some tools to try to make this work.
It's so unfortunate though, right? You look at the ults. You've got the Huntress Fury, one away from the lockdown. DRX can just buy time again and again and again, get the orb, and then launch whichever ults they want to crush this timeout's value.
Opening spray, flash, connecting there on the pole. Now they know, he's pinged. He's got to just make his exit. Quick updraft. Will stay sat right in front of market doors here. So a parting shock dart just to try to clear any HA util that might have been lurking forward. Turning sights now back over to mid. Will go ahead and take note of him. Now he's just got to hightail it out of there as Bane watches him escape.
Good adjustments from both sides. A good read from GE on what DRX is going to want to do after B main was shut down. But immediately DRX, they go for an early rotate through mid.
Oh, well, Ross able to turn away from that one, able to find a second kill. Buzz and Stacks take it down. Bane finds that one, but Foxy pushing forward. Knowing lightning fast position.
You should run.
Let's take him out. His lockdown now going to be invested.
Spike planted.
No health here on Bane, but so much space bought by this ult as well as time. Mako, a rare look with him having an Odin in his hands. Just going to stay tucked here at Hell.
Oh no, he's going to become an Odin user. He's gonna feel the thrill, man.
Start out, repositions. Paranoia now sent. There comes the spray.
Oh, boy.
Yep, it's immediately rewarded for it. 30 bullets remaining. I mean, even the op just to try to fish him out of here. But it's just impossible. The global, they will be sent packing once again. As DRX will now move up to 9.
Yeah, again, the immediate reactions. The calls from Russ are pretty good, I have to admit, right? You shut them down on B, you're still holding it with the op. Polvi tries to retake control of it, so now you smoke off mid, you drone it, you reposition Polvi towards mid. They drone it, but you still think that you're able to slow it down, and that's when DRX throws a curveball. Sure, you shut down the initial part of it, but then Foxy 9, the late delayed push from main. And we saw it in the back of that screen. Mako still shrouded stepping in as well, just to be able to trade should things go awry. There's just too many layers to DRX right now.
This is how you know that Mako's an honest person. He closed things out with that Odin, didn't take it forward. Not carrying it forward into the next round. Says, okay, this is just the best tool for the opportunity that I have right now. But I'm not that kind of gamer.
You know, one day he'll see the light.
That's the darkness. You are the Sith. Whispering into his ear. Buzz on the entry, though, turns back, finds lightning fast, swings back Jen. Benkai in hell is able to find one. Russ with a great approach, though. Swings out. Benkai getting one. He gets the other. It's looking like a decent chance now at that 9-3 half here for Global. Benkai at 5 HP, but just Foxy and Bane now remaining. All the veterans have been eliminated. Thrown to check. Benkai spotted. Try to see if they can flush him out. Shock Dart would certainly do the trick.
Yeah, they're thinking about it. Wants to figure out which lineup to use here.
They kind of whiff on him, though, but it's going to be the Nanoswarm, actually, that does take him down. Still, a 2v3 with an operator on the opposite side, as well as that Odin up in heaven. They're inching closer and closer, getting ready for the peak. There's the flash. The setup is good. Bane now with everything to do, with no tools with which to do it. A double stack Odin op on heaven with Russ down in front. It's just not quite possible. Will get taken down. Global finally able to break that win streak here in the very last round of the half, but 9-3. The DRX are in firm control here on Ascent.
9 rounds in a row since DRX bought rifles. I mean, that is just insane, no matter what you think about the relative strength of each team. So all the credit to DRX, especially once again, considering that the initial reads from GE seemed really solid. A lot of teams would fold under that, right? You start to think that you're getting red. They're always prepared for you. Starts to shake things up, but not DRX. I mean, for one, they've played on this map so many times. They are the protagonists of so many impossible map wins on Ascent, going back and forth. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, you think about 2022 champs alone.
Yes.
The number of overtime performances there.
Yeah, I mean, everyone in Korea on the verge of having a heart attack during that event. But
it wasn't just those of us in Korea, my friend. There was palpitations in Istanbul that evening.
I'm sure. Well, it's been a while since we've seen that.
A dab, yeah.
Yeah, lots of fans here. I'm sure a lot of fans also kind of just happy to see a rejuvenated DRX despite the circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, I think they certainly had caught a lot of people off guard with the way that they were looking. The fans very much so rallied up there in the audience. Just considering the changes, you know, flashback this young, incredible-looking prospect being able to play for, you know, we don't really know how long.
But Bane, I mean, he's doing exactly what he needs to for this team to be able to play to their comfort, and I think that's the most he could have hoped for now. Bane will still have plenty more chances for him to shine all the way through. I mean, once again, you have to remember, if you haven't been following, Bane was the original guy that DRX said, this is one of the people that we want to grow to be the future of DRX Valorant. He was on the OG training squad. Now finally given his chance on the big stage.
Oh, the flash recon timing is looking good, but Benkai find Buzz, good covering fire there as Polvi will be able to take out Foxy 9. Bane a little bit of whippy, trying to tuck back inside of the smoke, get himself around the corner, but cannot do so. He's end up falling. Benkai with 2 here in this pistol round. It seems like Global may just be carrying forward the success of the squad from last year when it comes down to pistols. They look for that 2-0. Snacks now rotating back around, Ghost in hand, smoke blooms, clears out on the dart, pushes in, gets the dink, but cannot confirm the kill. Plenty of damage dealt, but Polvi pushing forward in mid will intercept Mako before he can activate his clutch powers. And that will be Global picking up a second pistol round win for themselves, rather.
Now, like you said, all things as they should be. GE winning the pistols. DRX still in the lead on Ascent. But we'll see. I mean, GE last time, they obviously smooth sailing up through the anti-eco and then 9 rounds in a row. See if they can do it. The trading, you know, the comms seem to be on point that time in mid. Povey able to kind of hide out and trust his teammates to cover enough time for him to re-peak.
No investment here from DRX. Never really a team that tries to go for any kind of forced buys. As Buzz does try to take some very aggressive early space. Gets punished for it. A very small amount of damage there on the Lightning Fast, who is still going to be sitting pretty there outside of A. Povey with that Outlaw. Able to take it down to Bane. So already key advantage is found here as looks like the call is just made to say, like, okay, rush him down, see if we can get any value here. Reload from Foxy. 9 tucks back around the corners, trying to get these right clicks woven in. Had he been able to connect on the Lightning Fast, they may have been able to find themselves a second kill, but that's going to be Global. Picking up 2 in a row once more. But this is where things started going wrong for them in the opening half. The rifle purchase here for DRX.
Yep, and it's once again going to be all full armor, so that Outlaw not going to have as much value. Obviously, still going to be good if you get the headshots. We'll see if he's able to do that. Now, on the attacking side, sometimes it's going to be up to Povey to get those peaks.
Quick placing swarm grenade.
See what the call's going to be, but right now, 3-2 split.
Scanning ahead.
Benkai and Povey off over near B lobby. Smoke down, taking a peek in towards tree. Nothing really going to be spotted though. Povey looking like he's still going to try to lead the charge with that Outlaw in hand. Drone in the meantime coming through. Mako just back really quickly, clearing that one out. Sends down the smoke to try to get some delay. His fragment will land there. Forces him off the angle for the time being.
Yeah, the paranoia a little bit early. It didn't allow them to get all the way through tree. The window is broken.
Have to use that like a shotgun if you want to try to find value, but as he tries to swing in, Buzz will get on top of him. So finds those 2 kills. TP to the side, Lightning Fast around the corner, but a little bit late to pull the trigger. Buzz able to back away.
Yeah, the wide angle, now the double as well. Here in tree. Lightning Fast just waiting for them to come through, but the thing is the main force can't get in unless Lightning Fast can do something about it.
There's the reveal, just pinged down, trying to go ahead and get him through the corner, and eventually Bane will be able to do so with that wall bang, forcing him out into the open. The 5-member strong here versus Russ, he will be able to get one to deny it flawless, but DRX, once again, get rifles in hand, get themselves around wind, and now are up to 10.
All right, GE, still just enough room for them to try to go for a comeback here. Buy up the rifles, we'll see what they can do. Now, a lot of focus has been spent taking over mid-control early on, both in the pistol, and once again here on the bonus. Eventually striking for that pinch, but not enough to really pressure that. Wow.
Into the unknown.
The op for Povey.
Yeah, this is a very bold attempt here. Right now,
I mean,
like,
it's
okay, 3-man
surely
push out.
unexpected, that's for sure.
Just looking to clear some of that KJ util. It's like, are we just going to have a 3-man main push tiles crunch attempts from DRX? The answer is no. They don't identify that this op is in play. They might still suspect it.
Take flight.
Yeah, I'm curious if they do suspect it. That'd be incredible.
Ships in the night. A little bit of added info for Bane. He does get the spot there on the pet. What is that?
What?
Excuse me?
No, he had to have seen him jump. He had to have seen him jump peek and then shot him through the wall. There's just no way.
We'll have to see that one on a replay. Either way, what an opener here. As Russ is trying to comp this one over. Gets a dink across onto Buzz as well. Down to 42 HP. Alarm bot will remain standing, but I don't think that Global are going to be too bothered by it. Foxy now, just a Guardian in hand. The only one on this A side of the map. Mako rotating all the way back across. That smoke
30
there.
seconds left.
These nano swarms, they might be behind just enough time though.
Clear out there on that. But yeah, the nano swarm's not going to come into play now. Povey able to find the shot. Foxy 9 going to be taken out.
Standing ahead.
Global such a good position where DRX now make the call that they're gonna have to just hold on to these weapons. Everybody getting tucked back here in B site. Benkai spreading across, I think. Spotted, but they're just like, just don't do anything.
Yeah, I mean,
let's hold on to the weapons. Don't shoot at them.
DRX just happy to let that pass by if you're not going to hit the first shot. And Benkai probably at a certain point will be scratching his head because it just doesn't make sense that he hasn't run into him yet. But all in all, definitely a desperate round win that GE wanted. A flawless, like you said, and the op really paying off. I mean, again, even if he did spot the jump,
I have
an
to see that
incredible
back.
shot.
That's just nutty. For some reason, I'm like, I feel like it was just a read. But it feels impossible for it to just have been a read.
I mean, it's a very, the thing is you hit the op for so long, right? So
Yeah.
I can't imagine that it's a blind shot. But hopefully we get it in the replay. Either way, a very impressive opener that allows GE to stay on the board and keep the operator. Now that DRX knows the element of surprise, the tempo, it's not really going to catch them off guard too much, but...
Oh,
no way!
What? I mean, okay, he saw him jump, but he just fully expected that he was going to continue strafing.
Fucking slapped.
Oh, man. I mean, yeah, like you said, it's not like he was scoped in and he just goes for the flick. He just remembers where the jump was. And these are the moments that the fans of Polvi have been clamoring for. You know that the talent is there.
That is nasty. Buzz now trying to keep himself covered. He's able to find one. Russ quick to trade it back. Silva for a jet. Polvi still in play. Op still in hand. Tailwind going to be expiring though. Mobility cut down. As Foxy looking to take some forward space here in B.
Doesn't need to greet it too much. He's got his util to fall back on. So for now, just having an off angle, given the timing, but surely at a certain point, I expect him to
Stax is not going to do it again, Polvi. He's watching and waiting for it.
The thing is GE hasn't cleared the alarm bot. They saw it that last round. They never really cleared it. So they'll have to pressure that if they want to force someone to watch for mid.
Bane with a drone. Doesn't get the hit there. He spots out one. Is Russ wary about a potential aggro push out towards Gelato here. But Mako, for now, just playing this patiently, still tucked away inside of Wine. As there's the creep up, alarm bot spotted, cleared. Benkai
30 seconds left.
adding to the chaos and ambiguity here as DRX trying to assess what's happening. But yet, like you say, 23 seconds now remaining in the clock. And they very much suspect Mako's position, and they will be able to drive him out very easily.
Right, tree's been cleared out. Double gets tagged, but they filled the site already. Only 12 seconds.
12 seconds. Spike still needing to be brought forward. Foxy9 able to find Benkai. Spike just now getting closer. Odin in play. Swing out. Op shot going to go a little bit wide, but lightning fast finds the headshot. Just less than a second to spare. They managed to get the plant down, and now Foxy with 10 HP has to deal with 3 players. He can't even deal with the first. Polvi will get the headshot. Global Esports, they start running things back.
And it all started with this operator. I mean, it sounded like one of the craziest buys we've seen, but it allows him to get into absolute reach. We'll see. It looked like the timer might have stopped. We'll see if it's going to be a timeout. Of course, GE doesn't have any more, so DRX will have to be a little wary of if they want to use it or not, because it gives the opponents an opportunity as well.
Let's go, guys! Come on!
Here the vibe is getting built up here on the side of Global Esports, but yeah, we do have a timeout called from the DRX camp. Termi and Glow wanting to get involved, seeing how these last couple rounds have been getting away from them, because, I mean, you know, at the start, yeah, it was the beginning of that 9-round streak for them in the first half. This one, they got the bonus, and that's been it.
Yeah.
The follow-up 2 rounds, so Global now with a way back into this game, just 3 rounds separating.
Now we'll see. My curiosity is what's Global's adjustment right after the timeout? What do you expect their answer is going to be to the attacking operator? Because DRX, they're not one to just hang back with no information. They'll have to get information one way or another. But what is it going to be? Is it going to be something like that tiles crunch? Some form of aggression just to try to shut things down. And then make sure that they erase half of the map. And if that's the case, where does GE expect it to happen? Because right now, obviously, the value not quite there for a full buy. So DRX, if they're going to do it, it's going to be a bit of a hodgepodge version of whatever play. So it won't be this round, but perhaps something they're keeping in the pocket for the next.
Hero rifle handed over to Buzz from Foxy, who's just playing pretty much naked. Doesn't have anything to work with here. As Polvi will take a bit of damage. There's the tailwind forward. Yeah, he's still looking to take space, and he will be able to find him. Russ and lightning fast over getting involved. Find Mako, Bane. The buzz all gone. Off the back of that aggression, the opening pick is good, but the follow-up significantly lacking. And now it's just the aforementioned Foxy9 with the classic in hand to see if he can do any additional damage. Benkai low. Russ tagged up a bit. The drone chasing forward. Force him back onto the site as they have no idea where this Killjoy is.
Yeah, but they'll just keep the main forces in mid. If they get spotted here, they can always go around the other way. Now this is give a Vandal.
He finds the kill, doesn't take any damage either.
I mean, it makes the plant safe, that's for sure. And your creds are fine. That's not the problem. The problem is this just enough that Foxy9 needed to do something about it this round?
Trying to figure out what position he's going to come from. He's trying to jump over top of the turret. I appreciate that effort.
Yeah, but do they know that he's already passed it because the turret activated? Not sure if they would have heard the drop for clear.
Well, he finds one. Gets tagged down to 20, though. And he's got to be wary about those market stairs, so he does a little bit more damage, but cannot find the round win. It would have been an absolutely monstrous clutch there. Instead, it is Global continuing to run this back. Now 3 consecutive, 5 in this half. 10 to 8. And the ult economy in their favor.
I mean, still very well prepped here on the side of GE. Sure, Polvi gets stuck a little bit, but they don't panic. They still understand that they have better control of mid, that they can still trade out. And now, another op, but this time on both sides. Buzz looking to combat it.
Pushing up behind the drone. You know the turret's going to be situated. Polvi just holding a hard line. Who strikes first? It's Polvi. Sees enough. The elbow sticking out. Buzz taken down through the corner.
I mean, Buzz kind of going for the idea that they're not going to expect me to be here, but I also don't want to trigger the turret. But Polvi definitely the advantageous angle there, given the distance. Spots his elbow first.
Bane getting flashed in. Widely, Global maybe just pivot over towards the A site as it will be Blaze King rotating back through attacker spawn to join in with the rest. DRX have already adjusted a bit by positioning 3 players on this site. Foxy with a lockdown, trying to slow things up, but there's the pop on the ult as just Fury opened up. Blaze King fishing for any kind of tags he could get. Polvi in the meantime, though, finding stacks out on site. Knives now pulled.
30 seconds left.
And there's the TP, the pump fake. Is lightning fast.
Good.
Shifts it right back over to B. Knives drawn, but Foxy with a headshot, able to find one. Plant coming in. Snapping from Bane. Locks in onto Benkai's head. Swing around the corner. Bane finds the headshot on the lightning fast. And now somebody's got to defuse this spike.
Oh,
it's not going to make it happen. And Russ, I don't know if he's going to be able to get there in time. He cannot. Mako guns him down from Market. And oh, the crumble there. I like the idea from Global, but they're just not ready for Bane to be in this position to win out on those fights. And without having anybody in position to try and deny that spike defusal, it just ends up falling apart.
This is one of those things where, I mean, you wonder if GE had to do that, because you hear the rotate out, and sure, now you know that they're going to have some fair numbers on the side of A. Foxy and I just saying, holy crap, you were damn good, Bane. But with a little bit more flair.
A little bit more spice on top of it.
But, man, again, the idea is cool, but it's like, do you always have to go for the cool idea? You would have still had the numbers advantage. Benkai still could have cut off the rotate. And it's one of those things where you wonder, if you were confident that you can win the fights no matter what, just by having equal or one extra person, then is there ever a need for that over-rotate? Does that become when you start to overcook?
Cost them dearly. DRX now one step closer to closing out this map, but Global still very much with a fighting chance. Buzz pulling off the angle here in mid. Repeats it. Oh, instantly does find Benkai.
Blaze King pushes them back, though, and they've already crept in all the way. No noise made.
Still suspicious here at DRX. Smoke thrown down from Mako. As Buzz finds another. Blaze King now dead. Trying to linger his way up in through big main. Well, the tension tied over towards Heaven. Foxy9 able to easily strike. Cleanup will come through as Mako gets 2 on the back end. It's a flawless now as DRX finding their footing once more. They take this up to map point.
Man, all it took, one incredible round from Bane. And then GE, this time they tried to take the fight, but it's just not there in time. I mean, of course, Buzz picking off 2 people already makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, and I think Benkai might have been fishing to try to clear out AJ utility that sat there in mid. But just having those tracer rounds come across, Buzz knows the general direction to look in, knows that there's going to be someone there. Just follows the bullets, finds the kill. Now he's looking to try to hold things back. Is this time Polvi going to be at a major disadvantage?
Yeah.
Buzz, he's able to capitalize.
And this time it was kind of the reverse situation. Polvi trying to find the off timing, but the angle advantageous for Buzz. The drone clear immediately in mid to see if there's any reaction. They know that they haven't exactly committed to one side or the other. Now you've still got the Killjoy setups on A and mid. You've still got all the ultimates you would want, quite frankly, for a retake. So DRX, one of those rounds, classic Ascent round, where there is literally no reason for them to do anything about the information. You can just wait.
Benkai with the op, looking like he wants to move in and challenge. And that he does, but he's going to be taken down. Tailwind up and over the top. Buzz gets himself sat back here in the sight. Lightning fast now being hounded down as Bane with the Hunter's Fury. Crashes across and he makes him crumble. 2 players left. Try to keep themselves alive in this game, but the odds, the deck, it's all stacked against them at the moment.
Oh,
30 seconds left.
I mean, they got a sprint and Mako's waiting here. The paranoia alone will be enough, I think, to draw out the round.
Spots one. I mean, he knows that they're being ushered towards this side of the map. The lockdown invested. Blaze King is able to find 1. Stacks gone. Mako just pulls back over, waiting as they have to break through the door. The time's dwindling. They're blind. They've got nowhere else to go. A fragment forces him back before the moment. Runs with a headshot, finding 1, but it's already over. The spike cannot be planted. As the cleanup will come through. DRX pushed around a lot more than I think we might have anticipated. So credit where it is due. Global putting up a hell of a fight there in that second half, but DRX still come out with a win on Ascent.
Yeah, I mean, sure, we talk about was it overcooking or not, but at the end of the day, the real truth is if it wasn't for Bane hitting 2, 3 incredibly crispy shots to get there ahead of the entire map, then GE may have gotten ahead. The momentum seemed absolutely in their favor. DRX not really having a clear idea until that round win to regain their confidence, to be able to hold the angles that they want, to throw GE off kilter a little bit. So props to GE, but it's a win for DRX.
That it is, and we have got Lotus on the horizon, but first we'll send it back over to the analyst desk to break down the action.
Well, GE was certainly fighting, but DRX continue to win on Ascent. Was their, I mean, not their map pick, but GE definitely was fighting.
Yeah, I mean, it's historically a pretty good map for DRX. Obviously, a slightly different look to the team, but kind of a similar feel to a lot of what we've seen from DRX in the past, where they're able to string together insane amounts of rounds on this map. I can't tell you how many times, you know, casting DRX over the years that I've seen this, so not too surprising to see it go that way necessarily, but I'm really happy that there was a fight back from GE, that they didn't just give up, that they just didn't roll over. So for that, in and of what it is, that's good, but it's the exact same scoreline they had against Zeta, 13-8.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to feel a bit bad about the way they lost. You know, giving over so many rounds in a row, as you mentioned, that's kind of DRX's thing, but at the same time as Global Esports, it's like, it felt like there were too many rounds in a row, and then eventually Polvi was just like, okay, I'm going to take the op, and I'm just going to kind of run at them. And it worked for a while, and it got a bunch of rounds back, and definitely got some momentum back for Global Esports. It was actually kind of surprising, because the rounds that DRX were winning were very one-sided. It wasn't, you know, close back and forth, so I was actually a bit surprised to see Global Esports, how well they fought back, but just wasn't enough. I think DRX just the more solid team this time around.
Yeah, there were moments here where Global Esports, I mean, you just saw these rounds slip from their fingers. The ideas were really good, but there was just moments of discoordination that cost them the round. DRX, on the other hand, continued to look great. And Bane, you know, their newest player, only being slotted in maybe 7 to 14 days ago, looking like he's been with the team this entire time.
Yeah, really solid performance on the Sova. That one round where he got the 3K, you know, the recon dart to make sure while he's defusing that he's safe, and that actually reveals the player to give him the kill. Really good stuff. Yeah, the coordination looks really, really solid. I was really impressed with some of the communication, especially on their attacker side for DRX, with the way they were able to spread the map. You know, again, Foxy9, your MVP for this map, had a round where he gets a pick over into B. That opens up that site. They're able to TP Mako over, you know, get the plant over on the other side. So that just shows to me that they're flexible. They're having good ideas. Credit to the whole team there. Stacks as well, kind of maneuvering the map really nicely on that attacker side. So that's really, really good. But yeah, GE, there are a few rounds that didn't look as good. I think particularly the round where Polvi had the Blade Storm and he pushed all the way to a spawn, and then Foxy gets him on the ramp.
Yeah, it was a bit rough. I think there are some rough edges still for the GE lineup. You saw that, yeah, they got the pistol, got the second round, and then it was, I think it was 9 rounds in a row for DRX. I mean, that's just, it's a bit much, and there were some, you know, clutch Mako moments and some, you know, some general DRX moments that you would expect from them. You know, Buzz lighting it up a couple times in a row, and I mean, there were some really insane shots like that one from Polvi through the wall, which just kind of blew everybody's mind, which was also really cool. But again, you know, you can do the cool stuff, but it's really going to be consistency that gets you across the board when you're talking about, you know, potential to go 24 rounds before you go into overtime. So didn't quite see enough of that from Global Esports, and some of the solo pushing wasn't doing it for me either.
There was a particular moment when Foxy9 was the last man standing. There were 3 left up. They gotten that plant down, and even then, you know, I think this is a testament to DRX and maybe even the individual players. It was very feasible and for Foxy9 to take that 1v3.
Yeah, I felt like he could actually win that. I mean, when he gets the gun, right, he kind of tricks the opponent Sova into over-peeking an angle because he dodges the owl drone, and then he's able to just get a gun, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, he's got an opportunity here because they hadn't planted. They had all this time in the world to plant. Instead, they spent all their time, GE, looking for this last player where they could have planted and then looked and then figured it out. They know they have the numbers advantage. You might as well try to get that plant down and then deal with it after that. That is, like, things like that should, a team like this with these players who are, like, a lot of them have IGL experience, that should have been figured out and should have been dealt with sooner.
Yeah, I agree. And hopefully they figure it out in time for Lotus, which is DRX's pick. And you know what? They're pretty good at it.
Yeah, DRX are quite good at this map. Achilles was talking about it the other day where at first they were not, and it was banned a lot, but eventually they kind of got some learnings in. They had some